feeling like, the room won't stop spinning, like you're stuck on a tilt-a-whirl.
Ugh, yeah.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something quite interesting, what some sources are calling a natural vertigo breakthrough.
And it's really more than just feeling a bit dizzy, isn't it? The material we looked at, it really hammers home how debilitating vertigo can be.
Absolutely. How it just throws your whole day off.
Exactly. Simple things, suddenly they feel like climbing a mountain.
Right. So our mission for this dive is basically unpack this alternative idea, a holistic approach, non-medicinal, for tackling vertigo.
Yeah, and it's based directly on what these sources are putting forward.
What really jumps out, I think, is tackling something so, well, physical without immediately going the medication route.
Right. The sources introduce this natural vertigo breakthrough as a strategy that really tries to see the bigger picture.
Okay, let's dig into that bigger picture idea then. When we say holistic for vertigo, what are the sources actually suggesting? What does that look like?
Well, the material suggests thinking about how different body systems are, connected.
How so?
So instead of just laser focusing on, say, the inner ear, which is the usual suspect,
Mm-hmm.
this breakthrough seems to involve looking for and maybe addressing other underlying factors, things that might be contributing to the dizziness, the imbalance.
Interesting. So it's less about just the ear mechanics and more about the whole system.
Pretty much. The sources aren't necessarily handing us like a specific set of exercises or a diet plan right here,
Okay.
but they're definitely pointing towards a different way of thinking about managing this condition, which can be, let's face it, incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. It sets the stage then for thinking maybe there are other ways to get your balance back, ways that aren't just about pills.
Exactly. And that brings up a point for you listening. Have you ever thought about non-drug options if you've dealt with dizziness or balance issues?
It's interesting they use the word breakthrough specifically. That feels significant. Does the material hint at why it's considered such a big shift? What makes it different from standard treatments?
Well, using a word like breakthrough usually implies something, fundamentally new or a substantially different angle.
Right, not just a minor tweak.
Exactly. The sources seem to emphasize that by tackling these sort of interconnected underlying factors, maybe things we don't immediately associate with vertigo,
Hmm.
rather than just treating the symptom, the dizziness itself, people might find, well, more lasting relief, better balance through natural means.
Okay, so pulling it all together, this natural vertigo breakthrough that we've been exploring in our sources,
Yeah.
it's being presented as this holistic alternative. No medication involved, aimed at people struggling with dizziness, with balance problems.
And the core idea is looking at the whole system, the whole picture, not just putting a Band-Aid on the symptom.
Right, it's about finding the root,
Oh.
potentially.
And, connecting this back to you listening,
Yeah.
it really does make you wonder, doesn't
Right.
it? Could digging into these kinds of holistic methods offer a different way, maybe a more sustainable way, to feel steady again when it feels like the world is just constantly shifting?
That's a good question. And it also makes you think, what other natural approaches might work alongside something like this,
Yep.
to help find that balance?